Welcome back to episode 5 of Rocket League Jeopardy. We have new board, new categories, and as always, we have 3 new contestants. So we will go one by one introducing them, but our first contestant is a banana. They played soccer for 66% of their lifetime, from what they have told me. But yeah, that banana is apparently banana. Welcome them. And then secondly, we have someone who used to be top 400 in the world in Minecraft ranked bed wars. Gotta love our Minecraft players. Gotta get the 2-week phase going. But for him, that'll be Pyro. And then finally, our third and final player. They actually played one of our former contestants. You know him by Asfura. Played Asfura and Arsenal in basketball at Worlds in DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, back in September. That player is Hotshot. That is all 3 of our players. And then I am your host, Skyline, as usual. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn down the music because we've kind of been doing this behind the scenes recently, but I thought that this time we would get the whole entire thing on stream. So, something that I did not do with y'all, but we are going to do now is Banana, Hotshot, and Pyro. We got to decide who goes first on this first board. So, the way that I do it is I think of a number between 1 of 20 in my head, and you have to guess what number you think that is. So I want you to go ahead and DM me what number you think I'm thinking of between 1 and 20, and whoever is closest will go first. So go ahead and send me that in the Discord DMs, and then we will get started from there. Alrighty, so all 3 players have gotten theirs in, and it always happens 1 week, and this is why I like doing it now in front of everyone, is that Hotshot and Pyro both got closest, as they both guessed 13, and the number was 11, and then Banana was right behind with 14, actually. So Pyro and Hotshot, I will give y'all one more try, just the 2 of y'all. I'm thinking of a new number between 20, and you will go ahead and give me what you think it is. Alrighty, so this was actually a very close one, but Pyro was just barely closer. The number I was thinking of was 7. Pyro guessed 9. Hotshot guessed 4. So Pyro will be the first to start for us. So while I get their stream set up in the Discord so they can look at what the board will be, let me go ahead and give y'all a look into what categories we will be using for today's first board. So for the first board, your categories are going to be Rocket Pass Recap. So this is going to be, I give you items, or like mainly the very first tier item, and then whatever the highest tier was, so tier 70, I give you those items and you have to tell me what season they are from. Second category is going to be paint finishes. I give you an image and a description of a paint finish that goes on your vehicle. You just have to tell me the paint finish. Thirdly is going to be real names. So I give you the names of the players and a description of them to make it a little bit easier to know who they are, because I highly doubt everyone knows every single RLCS player's name. So I will give you that, and you have to tell me what player that name corresponds with. Fourth is going to be streaming subs. So anyone that has been a sub before. So this can be any time throughout RLCS. They have been a sub for a professional team, but they were also either a streamer or a YouTuber. So they were a content creator / a sub for a pro team. Fifth, we are going to go with the Rocket League memes, all the funny stuff that has happened throughout the Rocket League scene. We are going to get a little bit of a recap of that itself, but what is its memes without its epic moments? So that is going to be our 6th and final category, is epic moments. But like I said, Pyro, you ended up winning the little guessing challenge, I guess. So you get to pick which one you would like first from the board.
Let's go with epic moments for 400.
All right, epic moments for 400. Your first question off this board is going to be: this team would end up stunning one of EU's favorites in the first round of playoffs on Championship Sunday of the 21-22 World Championship after hitting a game-winning dagger in Game 7 with only 2 seconds left on the clock. That is going to be Pyro.
Who is Furia?
Furia is correct, and Pyro, you will get the first points on the board, and you get to choose again what you would like.
Let's keep it going with epic moments for 600.
Epic moments for 600. During the 22-23 Spring Major in Boston, this EU team would end up claiming to be an honorary NA team before winning it all and waving US flags while chat shows their love of NA and EU being equal for once. It's going to be Banana.
Who is Team Vitality?
Vitality is correct. So Banana, that is going to go to you, and you take the lead and the board. So you get to choose which one you would like now.
Let's go real names for 6.
Real names for 6. Logan Wilt, born in 2005, has shown signs of promise, helping lead NA to a grand finals at the Birmingham Major before falling short to Carmine Corp. That's going to be Banana again.
Who is LJ?
LJ is correct. Banana getting the back-to-back 600 questions, and you get to go ahead and pick again.
Let's go paint finish for 4.
Paint finish for 4. While this paint finish does make your car look like it's dull and flat, it's still used on some of the older esports decals. Pyro.
What is Matt?
Matt is correct. Pyro getting that one, and you get to pick which one you would like next.
Let's go back to epic moments for 800.
Epic moments for 800. You really like the epic moments category. I mean, you've got a good amount of points from it, so I can see why. For 800. Back during the 21-22 World Championship, this player was given a heartfelt video for their retirement after playing their final ever match before becoming a commentator on the mainstream right after. That is going to be Pyro.
Who is CJ?
CJ is correct. Love the Aussie boy himself. But you get to go ahead and pick one again.
Epic moments for 1,000.
Epic moments for 1,000, getting the epic moments category right out of the way. They were teammates for a while, but never had much success. But after one of them retired, the other would go on to win a winter major, where they would reunite, and the one who retired would put a medal around the neck of their former teammate in this heartfelt moment. I want to even both. Pyro.
Who are JNaps and Rizzo?
JNaps and Rizzo are correct. I felt so bad whenever I saw that. I loved them to death, but you know, all good things must come to an end, unfortunately for them too. All right, go ahead and choose your next one.
Let's finish out epic moments for 200.
All right, 200. After hitting a 0-second goal for the ages to send this team to a Game 7 OT as Season 5 of Worlds before losing in that OT, that same team, with the addition of a legend, would go back to another Game 7 OT in the Grands at Worlds 3 seasons later, where they would ultimately win it this time around. That is going to be Banana.
Who is NRG?
NRG is correct. Right, so Banana, you get to choose once again, except for the epic moments, as that category has gone out of the way now.
Let's go memes for 4.
Memes for 4, getting the first memes off the board. After playing a series and being interviewed on mainstream, they were asked a couple of questions where each one of them would just respond with one word: E. That is Pyro.
Who is Evo?
Evo is correct. That brings your total up to 3,000, and Pyro, you get to go once again.
Let's do real names for 400.
Real names for 400. That is going to be Jack Benton, born in 2003, has had a storied career and is still going strong after winning the most recent regional in the region. So it's going to be Banana.
It was apparently Jack.
Apparently Jack is correct. That brings you up to 800, and the board control back to you.
Real names for 8.
Real names for 8. Angel Lopez, born in 2007, didn't see much success as an up-and-coming star until one team picked them up, where they helped lead them to a regional win and a spot at the Raleigh Major, Esports World Cup, and Worlds with an explosive performance. Hot shot.
Who is Kofor?
Kofor is correct. Sorry,
Oh,
I was
thank
trying to
God, I'm on
remember.
the board.
You are on the board. Had to make it a little suspenseful, but that is right. Kofor has helped them after coming to the scene at Space Station Gaming. So, Hotshot, you now get to choose which one you'd like off the board.
Let's go Rocket League memes for 600.
Rocket League memes for 600. This player ended up having to do a dance with their hands in front of their class, turning into an instant classic of a Rocket League meme, mainly used when referencing them according something with the caption, "Who let this guy?" That's gonna be Banana.
Who is Wavy?
Wavy is correct. The Berg himself.
He
Alrighty.
cooked me in the cash up yesterday,
Oh, you played against him yesterday?
unfortunately.
I guess the timing works out. At least you know who it is. But go ahead and choose which one you would like next off the board.
Let's go memes for 8.
Memes for 8. Your question here. This person can be seen squinting at their phone, looking at it with disgust, while wearing pink headphones, or shimmying on the main stage of RLCS when they were a player, or even punching their camera Summit 1G style, giving them these 3 memes of themselves. That is going to be Pyro.
Who is Rizzo?
Rizzo is correct. Dude, he has so many memes to choose from, I can't even begin to start like choosing. So I'll just put all 3.
This is just a constant GC rotation.
It really is. It really is. That's mainly where I got them from. I ain't gonna lie. All good though. Pyro, you get to choose once again which one you like.
Let's go Rocket League memes for 1,000.
Alrighty, getting this another one out of the way. While wearing an NRG hoodie and an NRG hat, this Rocket League commentator can be seen shaking their head in disbelief, looking disappointed for almost 30 seconds before putting their hands on their head to show how speechless they were left because of NRG. Pyro at the buzzer.
Who is Daz?
Daz is correct. The NRG lover himself. Just a little bit disappointed whenever. I'm not too sure of what the NRG moment was, but I do remember it was like after them not qualifying, I think for Worlds back in 22-23 maybe. And then he just looked very disappointed.
Yeah.
Alrighty, you got that one out of the way, and you get to choose once again.
Real names for 1,000.
Names for 1,000. That is. Excuse me if I pronounce this wrong. Gianluca Petroza, born in 2004, was a force for the Knights of Pittsburgh back in the day. Nowadays, they still dominate the field, just for a different team that's across the ocean, helping them to a top 11 finish at the Birmingham Major. They really love them. That's going to be Pyro.
Who is Sosa?
Sosa is correct. They really do love him because these... I can't say it on stream, but they do love Sosa. Alrighty, Pyro. Go ahead and choose once again.
Streaming subs for 400.
Streaming subs for 400. Getting the first one out of the way, and that is actually our daily double tap question for the first board. So Pyro, you are the only one who is allowed to answer this question. But before we check out that question, I will need to know, how much would you like to wager of your 5,800?
Let's go 1,500.
1,500 on the board here. Your question is going to be: named after a city, this American football player turned Rocket League content creator / sub has always been in support of Dignitas since getting picked up by them back in 2022.
Who is Boston?
Boston is correct. Or Boston Scott if you want to go the full name. But Boston is acceptable, and we will take that. So that brings your total up to 7,300. Already a commanding lead to start us off. Either way, Pyro, you get to choose which one you'd like next.
Let's go streaming subs for 200.
Streaming subs for 200. This player was not only just a content creator for NRG, but also their sub for a while, even though they never really saw the field with NRG. That is going to be apparently a Banana.
Who is Musty?
Musty is correct. That brings your total to 2,600 and the board control back to you.
Let's close out real names.
All right, getting the 200 off the board. Justin Morales, born in 2002, has just made their first LAN event after a couple years not seeing the stage as a player. That's gonna be Banana.
Who is Justin?
Yeah, pretty self-explanatory there. But yeah, Justin making it with Gen G. I get to be there at the Raleigh Major, and I'm excited to see it.
Lucky.
To be fair, though, I live like 40 minutes from the venue, so I got kind of lucky with that.
Yeah, I'm like 2 hours or 3 hours.
Not too bad. Go ahead and
We'll
choose your next one.
let's go paint finishes for 600.
Paint finishes for 6. With an atomic number of 6 on the periodic table included in the paint finish, it leaves your car looking race ready with a strong crystalline filament. Alright, that is time. No one getting this one. I thought this one might be a little bit easier to get, but it is carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is the paint finish of that one. So no one getting it there. So no one gaining or losing points. And no one's actually gotten a question wrong yet. So maybe I just jinxed it. Who knows? My bad for whoever gets the first question wrong. But Banana, you get to go ahead and choose which one you would like again, since no one guessed.
Let's go pass recap for 6.
Okay, getting the pass recap out of the way for 6. The potato car, Nomad and Nomster Goal Explosion, helped to bring this cartoony season to life on March 9th, 2022. That is time. And no one really remembering this one. Kind of understandable, but that was season 6 is when the potato car and the Nomster Goal Explosion ended up coming to Rocket League. Either way.
I hadn't even been playing then.
Yeah, I'm about to say it was a while ago. 3 years is quite some bit of time. So either way, you still get to choose which one you like again.
Okay, let's go Rocket League memes for 2.
Rocket League memes for 2. The final one out of this category is whether it be their long neck or them telling their significant other to bounce that S boing boing wiggle wiggle, they are well known for their memes and energetic personality. That is gonna be Banana.
Who is Austin Kefner Alpha Cap?
Alpha Cap is correct. I had to make sure to include the boing boing wiggle wiggle. That was just too legendary to not include.
Bro, he's been going crazy on stream these past couple of days.
Oh, I've seen it, especially after he made his first regional. After a while, that dude was like going off the charts.
You see the AI stuff he was doing this past weekend?
I did not see that he was doing AI
Out
stuff.
of his.
I don't think that's safe for this stream.
Yeah, probably.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, I'll go check it out after this. But for now, let's move past and back to the board.
Okay, let's get it. Let's go streaming subs for. Let's go 8.
For 8, your streaming sub is going from the main roster on Rogue to a sub spot in Season 7 of our LCS. This player is most notably known for their coaching and content creation with a different org, before pretty much leaving their over 250,000 subs on YouTube in the wind. Pyro at the buzzer. Whew.
Who is Corrupted G?
Corrupted G is incorrect. The first incorrect questions. That means Hot Shot or Banana. You can steal if you like. Hot Shot.
Who is Neat Mike?
That is also incorrect. So Banana, you can steal if you would like to. If not, then we can go ahead and move on to the next one.
I'm gonna pass on this one.
All right. The player slash coach we were looking for is Sizz. Who is Sizz, the coach of NRG? But yeah, he pretty much disappeared and then came back, posted one video 3 months ago as his last video, and then just left. Like, is gone. Other than that, we will now move on to the next one. No one getting that one right, so that board is still going to stay with you, Banana.
Let's go paint finishes for 200.
All right, getting the easy paint finish out of the way. The most basic paint finish out there leaves the paint on your car shiny and smooth. Pyro.
What is Glossy?
Glossy is correct. That brings you to 67 and allows you to choose which one you'd like next off the first board.
Let's try subs for 6.
Subs for 6. Even though they stick to content creation nowadays, streaming on Twitch, they're still listed as a sub for the Ultimates and have been with other high tier teams as a sub. It's gonna be Hotshot.
Who is El Omar Baton? I don't know if I pronounced
Yeah,
that
I
right.
would have just taken Omar, but that is
Okay.
right. Omar is correct. That brings you back up to 600, and you get to choose one you'd like next.
Let's go
More.
Rocket Pass recap for 400.
Rocket Pass recap for 4. The Harbinger and Harbinger GXT were the selling points of this Rocket Pass since there was no official theme other than starting anew, where the season began on September 22, 2020. Hotshot.
What is season 1?
Season 1 is correct. That brings your total up to 1,000. Now getting into the quad digits, and again, the board is yours.
We'll go streaming subs for 1,000.
Getting the last one off the board on the right half is going to be back in season 2 of RLCS. They were the sub of Flipside Tactics, and in 2019, they were the sub of Dignitas very briefly, but they were mainly known for their content creation and mechanics, now amassing over 1 million subs on YouTube. That is time. The player we were looking for is the one and only Jazer. That is quite a throwback, nonetheless, because I don't believe he really streams much anymore, or he does. But it's
Is
like,
it bad if I've never heard of him?
what's up?
Is it bad if I've never heard of him?
You never heard of Jazer? I wouldn't
Wow.
say that's bad, I guess, because I mean he did, like I said, start in season 2 of RLCS. Uh, but yeah, he was one of the bigger content creators back in the day, for sure. I will say. I mean, he still has over 1 million subs, and I think he still posts like weekly at least. So
He did that RLCS run with oh, I don't remember who it was. It's like a fun run with 2 other like EU content creators.
yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure of who they were either. But
Yeah.
yeah, Jazer, he's a legend in the scene if you've been in the scene for a while. All good though. We will just go right back to the board as we only got 5 questions remaining from 2 categories. Which one would you like first?
Let's go Rocket Pass recap for 1,000.
Let's recap for 1,000. That season is an underwater exploration is the destination of this season, where the Admiral and Atlantis goal explosions were the main highlights of the Rocket Pass starting on March 6, 2024. Hot shot.
What is season 14?
Season 14 is correct. Hot shot getting the 1,000-point question there off the board. That brings you to 2,000. Now only 1,000 behind second place, and 4 questions remaining. You get to choose which one's next.
Let's go Rocket Pass recap for 800.
Pass for 800. This season brought us the Volkswagen Golf GTI and Lotus Bloom goal explosions back on March 8th, 2023, trying to help us relax with nature in a true oasis. It's going to be a hot shot again.
What is season 11?
Season 11 is incorrect.
No.
So Pyro or Banana, one of y'all can still if you would like. Banana.
What is season 12?
12 is also incorrect. Pyro, would you like to steal?
I would.
All right.
What is season 10?
Season 10 is correct. Yeah, all just dancing around that, but Pyro getting the final guess correct. So that is going to go to him. 7,500 is now your total, and you get to choose which one you like.
Rocket Pass recap for 200.
All right, getting the second to last category off the board is going to be including both the Azura and Dodge Charger Daytona Scat Pack cars. This futuristic-like season began on March 14th, 2025. It's going to be Banana.
That would be, what is season 18?
18 is correct. That is the current season we are on. That has brought us the Azura, where Asfira almost sued the company for the likeness of his name. Alrighty, 2 questions remaining. Which one do you want first? Same category.
Let's go 8.
All right, paint finishes for 8. That is going to be This metal is coated with a protective oxide layer to make this shiny paint finish that also combines the secondary color into the primary color, giving it a shiny and colorful look. It's going to be banana.
What is anodized pearl?
Anodized pearl is correct. That brings your total up to 3,200. And only one question left on our final board. Banana, why don't you just go ahead and tell us which one we're choosing?
It's a bit of a tough one, but we'll go paint finish for 1,000.
Yep. Be a tough one indeed, but let's see if y'all can get it. Going to be this fiery looking piece of armor are actually pieces of skin taken from a mythical creature. But on your card, they can symbolize power, protection, and sometimes even good fortune. Pyro.
What is Dragon Scale?
Dragon Scales is correct. Right, your first category is Rocket League lingo. So this has to do with anything that is related to what we say in Rocket League. If it's specifically meant towards Rocket League, or at least a heavy part of it, it is most likely involved in this. Category number 2 is quick chats. I'm going to explain a situation a quick chat would be used. You have to tell me which quick chat is most likely to be used in that situation, or or a brief description of the quick chat itself. Number 3 is org origins. I'm going to describe an org based on what season they joined in, like the roster they picked up, and even the region they joined with. So that is gonna give you a breakdown of who it is. It could be a current team or a past team. I think most of them are current teams, if not all of them actually. So I could be wrong about that. But yeah, it's just kind of going over where they started at, and you have to tell me what team that is. Category number 4 is unorganized. Try to do a little bit of play on word here, but unorganized just basically means teams that are doing well in RLCS in the respective regions, but do not have an org to represent them. So I will need to know the team name that they are under that is not an org. Number 5 is going to be solos with all the cash cups going on. Thought we might revisit this. I know we did it in episode 1, but might as well go over our solo players as well. And if we're going over solos, might as well go over our duos. So this is going to be a lot of 2v2 players. It's going to be 2 players for each answer. It's mainly going to be like from rosters. All of these 2's players are from rosters, and you have to let me know the duo that is a part of that roster, the specific duo I'm talking about. So I believe correct me if I'm wrong, Pyro, were you the last one to get the question right on the first board?
Yeah.
All right, so Pyro, you will choose which one you would like first on this new board.
Unorganized for 1,600.
Okay, unorganized for 1,600. Are you going to big one out of the way? That is going to be the legend of K-Dop still goes strong on this European roster, which is sure to leave you feeling pure joy with his teammates Astral and Rice Fox. That's going to be Pyro.
What is dopamine?
Dopamine is correct. So Pyro already getting a strong start on the second board, up to over 10,000 now. You get to choose once again.
Unorganized for 2,000.
And unorganized for 2. That is. After their adventures on Furia, Card and Kaio join CRN on this roster to kick back and enjoy the sky as day turns to night on a starry beach, according to their logo and team name. That's Banana.
Who is Sunset?
Sunset is correct. That 2,000 point question going to you, and the board is also right back to you.
Solos for 12.
Solos for 12. Creator of a mechanic that can help you recover quicker, this player is known for their rocking of a Cintio and ones that has helped propel their gameplay compared to others. Banana.
Who is Azapatas?
Yep, AZAP is correct, bringing you to 6,400 and catching up to Pyro quick. Still a little bit ways to go. See if you can get there. Board back to you.
Quick chats for 16.
Quick chats for 16. Imagine scoring an incredible goal or making an awesome play, but you have to let the others know you meant to do it, whether you're lying or not, by putting this quick chat. Pyro.
What is calculated?
Calculated is correct. Yeah, I definitely meant to do that, teammates. Do not worry. Either way, board back to you, Pyro. What would you like next?
Let's go with duos for 1,200.
Duos for 12. Remember, I will need both players. If you only get one right or you don't get either of them, it will be counted as incorrect for 12. This duo has been together quite some time on Shopify Rebellion, with their third getting replaced every now and then. That is going to be Banana.
Ooh.
Who is Two Piece and Parth?
Two Piece and Parth is correct, as they are one of the 4 teams that made uppers in the NA 2v2. So still, it's good to see that they're still doing strong as a 2's roster, I guess. Either way, the
Wish they'd
board.
keep that up in threes.
So, yeah, I mean, it just feels like every single time they get a third, the third doesn't know how to play around them just because they're trying to play 2 so much. But they're still 2 really good players, as we can see by the Cash Cup.
For sure.
and
Yeah,
others,
for sure.
so.
Let's break open Lingo with 12.
Okay, Lingo for 12. Your question here. If you go to hit a ball and completely miss it on accident, this is what you would call that embarrassing miss. That is hot shot.
What is a whiff?
That is a whiff. So that moves you up to 24 hot shot, and you get to choose once again.
Let's go Rocket League lingo for 2000.
For 2000, getting confident on the lingo category. That is, after a European soccer team lost in the 2020 UEFA Champions League quarterfinal pretty badly, this term is used to win or lose your match 8-2. Banana.
It's called getting Barcelona.
That is incorrect.
Or
Pyro or Hotshot, you can still if you would like. Pyro.
Is it a Barca?
That is also incorrect. So Hotshot, you can still if you would like to.
I think I'll pass.
All right. So I will say this: Banana and Pyro, both of y'all did get the question right because Barca
yeah,
or
I realized it
Barcelona,
as soon as I
but
said
you
it.
didn't form it in the proper form of a question. It has to be who is, what is. It has to be the proposition. And Pyro, you said is it, not what is. So I cannot technically count that. And then Banana didn't form it as a question at all. So either way, the question. I mean, y'all said the right thing. Unfortunately, it's just the not phrasing it as a question always seems to get at least one person during the stream. So, you know, it happens every now and then. All good. We just move on to
I remember
the
watching
next.
that game.
Oh, I did too. It was very wild to see Barcelona lose that bad.
I'm glad I hate them.
Crazy.
Eaters.
All right. On to the next.
Oh wait, it's me still. Okay, we'll go quick chats for 2000.
Quick chats for 2. When in the pre-game screen during an in-game tournament, you can use this quick chat to complement the other players' vehicles. Banana.
What is nice cars?
Nice cars is correct. Yeah, say they got some pretty nice looking cars, don't they? Too bad they can't do anything with them. Alrighty, on to the next question. Banana, which one would you like?
Rocket League lingo for 16.
16, that is going to be our daily double tap for the second board. Now, how much would you like to wager?
I'll put 16 on it.
Want to do 16? Alrighty.
Yep.
So your daily double tap is going to be... This lingo comes from when you go for a demo on kickoff, while your teammate goes for the ball off of the opponent's touch from kickoff, usually allowing for an open net if executed correctly.
What is the Spanish kickoff?
Spanish is correct. And just being correct, how much did you say again? You said 16?
I said 16.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was just making sure. So that is going to bring your total up to 9,200, putting you only 500 behind Pyro. So very close now as Pyro, that lead closing very short as we got a battle for first place. But we will see who takes it over as the board is still to you.
Rocket League lingo for 8.
For 8, that is going to be... The name of this Rocket League lingo is where you go towards the ball like you're going to hit it, but purposely miss, allowing for your teammate to take the ball instead. That is going to be Banana.
What is a fake?
What is a fake is correct. So Banana now taking the lead, getting 5 digits, and the board to you once again.
The solos for 2000.
Solos for 2000. Getting the 2000 level questions off the board pretty easy, or early, I should say. This is. Ones is where this player shines, as they have shown magical-like abilities with their gameplay, like something out of Harry Potter, but their 3 success is very shortcoming, as they're usually a sub for a decent team or finish just short of making a regional with their team, the Lemons. It's gonna be Hot Shot.
Who is Moxie?
Moxie is incorrect. So the board is still open if Pyro or anyone want to steal, and that is Pyro.
Who is Wizard?
Not
Who is
I will count it just because it is technically what it is short for, but the exact name is Wiz. But I will give it to you just because Wizard and Wiz, they're the same thing. He just shortened it. Alright, the board still to you, Pyro, so you get to choose once again what you'd like.
let's go duos for 2,000.
Yeah.
Duos for 2. Getting this duo out of the way, it is. These players have some spicy gameplay, as both of these English players represent Caliente. Even though they haven't seen much success in RLCS, they dominate in the 2 scene, making the EU 2v2 Cash Cup Day 3 through uppers. That is Pyro.
Who are Noasaki and Charlie B?
Charlie B and Noasaki is correct. That will go to you. As yeah, they have been doing insane work in EU for their 2s. I feel like they're kind of like a 2-piece part situation, but newer in a way.
Yeah.
But either way, we go back to the board.
Noasaki was pretty solid on Resolve.
Oh yeah, no, he's always been a good player, but he really hasn't much area to shine. I feel like he hasn't really got like a good opportunity, except for Resolve.
Yeah.
Let's stick with duos for 1,600.
Duos for 16. Duo not just by team, but by DNA as well, as these twin takeover from Team Falcons has been a dominant force in the region for a while. That is going to be Banana.
Who is Rawas and Clears?
Rawas and Clears is correct. Bringing you to 11.6. And the board, once again, to you.
Stelos for 16.
Stelos for 16. Their name suggests they are out of this world, and the one's gameplay they display is good enough to back that up, even though their RLCS roster Zookeepers hasn't seen too much success. Pyro.
Who is S5 Cosmic?
S5 Cosmic is correct, bringing you to 15-3 now, moving up in point total. And the boards still have a lot to go through, so Pyro, choose your next one wisely.
Org Origins for 16.
Getting the last category that has yet to be untouched out of the way. 16 is introduced in the 21-22 fall split. This French-based org came onto the scene picking up Stake, Itachi, and Astral. Pyro.
Who is Carmine Corp?
Carmine is correct, bringing you to 16-9 now, just moving up question by question.
Org Origins for 2,000.
2,000, getting the last 2,000 point question out of the board before we only have medium and easier. This American-based org entered in RLCS Season 5, picking up a lot, Magnus, and Metsonoris after they made the Grand Finals of Worlds the season before. That is going to be Banana.
Who is Flipside Tactics?
Flipside is incorrect. So the board is still open. Pyro.
Who is Complexity?
Complexity is correct.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm stupid.
Complexity did pick them up. And something I should say before I kind of make it a little bit more confusing, because I feel like it might have been a little, is whenever I say American-based, I mean where the organization themselves, like their HQ is located. I'm not talking about like where they are currently. So I could say like they're all the way in like Australia. That doesn't mean that the team itself is in Australia. Like the team could be an EU team. It's just that's where the org's HQ is located. All right, the board once again back to you, Pyro.
Stick with Origins for 12.
Origins for 12. RLCS Season X brought us the entry of this org in the springs based out of Canada. Their first roster would consist of Rapid, Beast Mode, and Memory. That is going to be... Why is my thing blank? Okay, sorry about that. Go ahead, Pyro.
Who is Shopify Rebellion?
Shopify is correct. So that moves you up to over 20,000 now with only like 2 questions I think you've gotten wrong this entire time. So you are running this board clean, Pyro, but go ahead and choose it once again.
Unorganized for 12.
Organized for 12 is Louis P, Acro, and Rezi make up this European roster that give it their all, showing by their team name and logo. Banana.
Who is 100%?
100% is correct. Now putting you back into the 5 digits. Once again, board back to you.
Let's go with unorganized for 8.
Unorganized for 8 is this North American team consisting of 5-up, creams, and hockey try to conquer the pitch and the 7 seas based on their name. That's going to be Banana.
Who is Pirates on a Boat?
Pirates on a Boat is correct. I could also put
5-up was the other guy teaming with Wavy who killed us like yesterday.
See, I did my research. I made sure to traumatize you by mentioning them. No, I'm kidding.
Of course.
No, I could also put the Miles song if anyone knows that. Shout out to the GOAT, Miles.
5-up's my boy.
5-up is the GOAT. I did get to meet him at the what was it? The lane in Kentucky. I forget. It was for collegiate and Northwood was
Bluegrass?
There. Yeah, Bluegrass. There you go. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. But board once again to you, board once again to you, Banana.
Let's go solos for 8.
Solos for 8 is this player has always been a staple of the 1 scene. Even though they are retired now, they still prove to be strong, running RLCS with 2 other retired powerhouses on a team called Gas. That is Banana.
Who is AJ?
AJ is correct. He is the 1's dominant force on that roster. And he still, I think he got seeded like top 10 still in the 1v1 tournament, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, he's really good at ones. He just tells himself like out of his mind sometimes.
Yeah, to be fair, ones does that to everyone. Like, I don't think I've seen a single player that can keep their cool while playing ones.
Yeah, I agree on that one. We'll go duos for 8.
All right, duos for 8. The Ultimates got this lethal duo that can easily be recognized by 4 letters, 2 letters for each player, having helped led them to a grand finals finish at the Birmingham Major. That's going to be Hot Shot.
Who is LJ and FK?
LJ and FK is correct. You hear those 4 letters and you're automatically like, oh no, they'll make a grand finals, but we know they can't do crap in it.
Crazy strays.
Hey, I'm throwing strays, but it's just being honest. I love those guys today. Death. LJ is my favorite player, like, currently, and I just hate that he can't finish, bro.
Yeah.
Alrighty, but Hot Shots, you get to go ahead and choose which one you like next.
Let's go quick chats for 1200.
That's for 12 is if you have nothing in your tank, you would use this quick chat to let your teammate know that you want to go refill your tank. That's going to be Pyro.
What is need boost?
Need boost is correct. Yeah, I'd be spamming that to my teammates when they leave me in net with 0, and I'm just like, please help.
For real.
Let's try unorganized for 400.
Unorganized for 4, getting the first category out of the way, and the first easy question out of the way now that I look at it. It is, the name of this American team would make you think they're related, but not by blood, as Alpha Kep, Gut, and T-Corel keep pushing to make Unk Kepner reach a LAN event. That is going to be Pyro.
Who are little step bros?
Little Step Bros are correct.
The GOATs.
The GOATs. How did Unk make a regional?
Bro, they actually kind of peep against net, I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, they beat Ultimates in a sweep.
I've never, no shade to Taroko, but I've never not seen other than Americana kind of roll over for anybody that wants to beat them.
True.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Alright.
So Pyro.
Shout out T-Max a legend.
Org Origins for 800.
Alright. Org Origins for 8. That is. Season 9 of RLCS would see this Swiss-based org enter with an RLRS roster consisting of Mark by 8, ClayX, and Monkey Moon, where they would win RLRS and get promoted to RLCS for Season X. That's going to be Banana.
Who is Team BDS?
BDS is correct. That brings you now up to 13,000. And once again, board to you with only 5.
Close out solos.
Solos already.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're all fine. I was just trying to recap the board, and then I realized I said something wrong anyway, so you kind of cut me off from embarrassing myself worse. Alright, solos for 4 is, though this player doesn't have a team to represent shockingly, they display the true sense of being solo, representing their country of France proudly, bringing home the first ever 1v1 World Championship title. Banana.
Who is Moxie?
Moxie is correct. As that dude is just insane at ones.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
He was on SK Gaming, right?
He used
Yeah.
to be.
But I mean,
he used to be.
Used
but
to
he's-
be, and that's kind of like a fake team.
Yeah, SK I don't even think part of Rocket League anymore. Or if they are.
Nas
then
was on XK Gaming, to be fair.
he was.
That is true.
But Nas
Let's go
is
duos
on
for 4.
good. Duos for 4 is 2/3 of NRG's roster. This powerhouse duo has been known to run NA together ever since their days on version 1. It's going to be Pyro.
Who are Beast Mode and Daniel?
Beast Mode and Daniel are correct. And I'm kind of shocked to see in the 2v2 Cash Cup Beast Mode's running it with Rapid. And they're still doing really well, though.
Wow.
I think they made top 4, like, in uppers. So, shout out to them. Daniel getting left in the dust.
Yeah, Rapid to energy soon, I guess.
Hey, confirmed. All right, 4 more to go.
Or Gorgons for 400.
And org organs for 4. It is. This German-based org came into the scene in Season 2 of RLCS, picking up Kronovi, Lachinio, and Overzero after they just won the previous World Championship in Season 1. That is going to be Pyro.
Who are G2 Esports?
G2 is correct. Please come back. We miss you, G2.
Real.
So real. One of the most legendary ones to make it. All right, Pyro. 3 left. Which one you want?
Quick chats for 800.
8. Your quick chat is... You can use this quick chat to compliment a player for making a good stop on the goal line, or to be toxic for them missing an opportunity to stop the ball from going in your net. That is going to be Banana.
What a save?
Yep, what a save is correct. And that's probably the #1 quick chat I see in my lobbies, because everyone loves being toxic nowadays in Rocket League.
That's just how it works.
Yep. Hey, if you're not being toxic, you're not trying. At least that's what my teammates say. Alrighty. 2 questions left. Which one are we going with first, Banana?
Let's go lingo.
Lingo for 4. Your lingo is... Originating from a country losing in the 2014 World Cup semifinals by a whopping margin, this lingo comes from that when you either win or lose your match 7-1. That is going to be Banana.
What is getting Brazil?
Brazil is correct, or what is a Brazil? So that is right, and with only 1 left remaining on Double Jeopardy, it is guaranteed at this point that everyone make Final Jeopardy, which I think is the first time to happen in 3 episodes. But Banana, which one do you want to end out on?
We'll quick chats 400.
Quick chats for 4. Smart decision there. I like it. Quick chats
Appreciate
for 4 is... Once the game is over, you use this chat to be respectful to the other team, win or lose, complimenting the match. That is going to be Banana.
What is GG or good game?
GG is correct. Brings you up to 15,000. And that will be the end of board number 2 as we look over our scores before we go into Final Jeopardy. So, Pyro still in the lead with a 22,500 point first place. Banana not too far behind with 15,200. And then Hotshot still in the positives with 1,200. As you see the little fist bump there, Hotshot making it to the final round. But
that's all I can ask for.
We will no longer need the buzzer, as the players will now just use my DMs to answer the question. So I will give you the category. The players will give me how much they want to wager out of the current amount of points they have, anywhere from 5 to as many as they have. And then we will be back after the short break. But before we do, we will go ahead and check the question or the category that is going to be for Final Jeopardy. And your Final Jeopardy category is breaking news. Known for doing streams where they talk about your favorite team how your favorite team can make a LAN, predictions for RLCS events, or even breaking down roster moves. This person is a veteran in the RL scene when it comes to breaking down all the news in RLCS. Their analyst background also helps this fact. Hotshot would end up putting who is Shift RL, which unfortunately is incorrect. And I bet all of their points with 1,200, bringing your final total down to 0. Your answer was, who is Lawler? Which is the correct answer for 12,799 points. That is going to bring your total to a whopping, I gotta do the math in my head, but I'm pretty sure that is 27,999. Oh, I accidentally put 8s. Give me 1 second. There we go. Oh, well, that's 2,000. Hold on. I swear I know how to do this. There we go. All right. 27,999. All right. Sorry, it just took me like 50 years to actually type that in. So now, with that being said, Pyro, who was once in the lead, now in second, must get this question right and must have wagered enough points in order to take the lead back. Let's see what Pyro puts for the win. Pyro ended up putting Who is Lawler? But how much did he wager? Ended up wagering 9,000 points, bringing his total to 31,500, the most we have seen on Rocket League Jeopardy, and a W in the win column for Pyro after a close finish in the end between him and Banana. What a match to follow, but Pyro, at the end of the day, the W is yours. Congrats.